Hi, and welcome to another Holy Embodied yoga tutorial.
Holy Embodied, weil Gott mehr mit deinen Zehen zu tun hat, als du denkst.
Today we're looking at the lower part of the body to sort of open up your hip joints, but also get some activation in your leg muscles and, of course, your feet, because the feet, they're the base of everything. But if after that you feel like, oh, but my neck and my shoulders, they feel a bit left out, then you're welcome to go back to our very first tutorial, because there we're looking more at the torso and the top of the spine, the neck and the shoulders. To get started, find a tennis ball that you may or may not have at home, and then make some space in your living room. So I have to push this to the side a bit. And then we're starting on a chair, and it's most useful to have a chair that's not moving, so no wheels on the chair and no side armrests. And scoop forward on your chair for a bit so that you can place the tennis ball on the floor, and then we're placing the right foot on top of it and start to roll the sole of the foot on that tennis ball. However, it feels comfortable, but make sure you get the whole surface of that sole of the foot, and then maybe you push a little bit of weight into it, into the tennis ball, to feel where there's a bit of pressure in the sole of your foot. And get the inside arch as well, all the way to the top, all the way to your toes, the ball of your foot. Great. And maybe as we do so, find a deeper breath. And it's like just gently falling into the body, noticing the sensation in the sole of your foot. Great. And then release that and place the right foot on the floor for a moment and notice maybe the difference between left and right. Maybe the right foot feels a bit wider, a bit more spread out. Great. And then we're repeating that on the left side, placing the tennis ball underneath the left foot and starting to roll out that sole of the foot on the tennis ball. However feels comfortable, however that moves for you. There's no right or wrong way, you know. Make sure you get the whole surface of your foot, and especially those bits that feel a bit dense. As you lean into the tennis ball, you can feel that more precisely. Get the inner arch of that foot as well, and maybe especially towards the middle of the sole of the foot, there's like, ooh, if I lean into it, it's not so comfortable, probably. All the way to the ball of the foot, to your toes. And don't stop breathing. Great. And then release. You can push the ball to the side and let the left foot rest on the floor. And notice your feet now. How does that feel now? Maybe it's as if both of your feet were connecting more into the ground. Like as if there was this connection is coming online. Right. And then from here we're experimenting with just lifting the big toes of both feet and then letting them rest on the floor again, and then lifting the other toes. And it's not that easy. And you can see my hands want to join, and place them back on the floor, lifting up the big toes only. Great. Placing them back down, and then the 4 other toes, and it's like placing them back down once more like this. Big toes lift and back to the floor, and then the other toes are lifting as much as they can, as much as is available for you, and back on the floor. Great. Find your breath and feel your toes on the floor now. Good. And then we're using the tennis ball once more. We're keeping the heel on the floor and just placing the ball of the foot on the tennis ball. And then we're curling the toes and spreading them. We curl the toes, spread them. Just to get real nice blood flow into the whole foot, like oxygen into every cell of your foot. Great. Change sides so that everything is online in your foot, is alive, is present. Because everything else is coming from those feet. They're the base of every movement. Once more like this, curling your toes and then spreading them, releasing the ball. Great. Make sure that your jaw isn't clenching up because it wants to compensate for who knows what. Great, for some tension that is releasing out of your feet. And then straighten your right leg. Maybe you scoop back on your chair. And then notice how your thigh has to activate. Flex your foot and bring the toes towards you. And then point your foot. Great. Flex it. Point your toes. Quads are activating. Toes back towards you and pointing. Great. Placing the foot back down and feel the warmth in your thigh. Like just that tiny movement is warming up your thigh. Let's go to the other side, flexing the toes towards you, pointing your foot, toes pulling back towards you and pointing to the front. Once more like this. And placing the foot back down. And now maybe the warmth is evenly. Okay. And let's do that one more time with a different movement. So I'm straightening my right leg and then I start to make circles with my toes around my ankle. But I want to keep my patella where it is. So I don't want to move my whole leg. I'm just moving my tibia, my shin bone, my foot around my ankle, changing sides. And again, my thigh has to be working. Good. Maybe you can also feel a little bit of your core. And then releasing once more like this on the other side. Making circles with your toes around your ankles. Keeping the knee in place. And to the other side. Great. Breathing. And then release. And maybe loosen up. Great. And from here we're scooping forward again and making sure that we have some room for the right leg to move. So like the right sit bone might be a bit off of your chair. So you're lifting up your right knee and start to make circles from your hip joint as far out to the side as possible, as is available for you. Changing side. Great. You keep breathing. And then the next time that knee is up towards you, maybe you're placing the right foot, the right ankle on top of your left knee. Now, your knee might not come far down to the floor. It might be further up. That's fine, of course. There's no one shape that is better than another. However that knee is placed on, however high up that knee is, make sure you keep your right foot flexed so that the knee is safe. Now maybe you can already feel a lot on the outside of your right thigh, right hip. Maybe you don't. If there's not much sensation, you might want to lean forward a bit to get a little bit of an opening over the right side of your outside thigh, your hips. Great. Let your head be relaxed, jaw relaxed. And then with an exhalation, place the right foot back down, releasing. And notice how that right hip joint feels now. It might feel quite different than the left one. Good. So let's do that same thing on the other side. And now I'm scooping a bit towards the left so that I have some room to move with my left knee. And I might want to hold on to my chair just for stability reasons. And then I'm lifting up my left knee and I start to make circles as far out as the hip joint allows. And it might make some noises here. Mine does. That's fine, just don't force anything. Great. And then the next time the knee is coming towards you, maybe you're placing the left ankle on top of the right thigh. Coming back towards the middle of your chair, and then taking a moment to pause and sort of adjust your position. You want to keep your left foot flexed, and the left knee is maybe slightly pushing down towards the floor. And if there's a lot of sensation the outside of your left thigh, stay here. If there's not much that you can feel, maybe you're leaning forward a little bit. It's not that more is always better, but sometimes it's like you sit here and it's like, I don't feel anything, what's that gonna do? But if you lean forward, it's quite quickly quite clear what it's doing. So you might want to take a couple of breaths here. Again, making sure that your face is relaxed, your neck, your shoulders are sort of free and falling towards the floor. Great. And then with an exhalation, releasing, coming back to where you were. And from here, I'm turning towards the right, bringing my right knee towards the right side and stretching out the left leg behind me. So I have my left thigh still on my chair seat, but the right, no, it's the other way around. I have my right thigh still on the chair seat and my left leg is stretched out far back. I'm taking both hands on top of my right knee, thigh, and I push the flesh forward a bit so that I can lift up my torso. Great. I'm straightening through my left leg as much as is available. Any degree is enough, is perfect. And I get some sensation through the left groin, the left thigh. And maybe you push the left heel back a little bit. You keep breathing and just allowing for that left hip flexor to open a little bit. Great. And then with an exhalation, I come back, I turn to the middle, I bring both of my legs in front of me, scooping forward on the chair seat, and then the legs are as straight as they allow, and I come forward to a forward fold. Now, your knees might be bent a little, and you're just hanging over your bent knees. Any variation, both variations are equally as good. Let your head move from side to side. Yes and no. And maybe you stay here for a couple of breaths and you can feel your breath moving the back of your rib cage. As you inhale, it's opening, and as you exhale, it's contracting. Like that pulsation of breath in your body. Great. And then at the end of your next exhalation, roll up through the spine. Take your hands on top of your thighs again, bringing the feet underneath your knees. Taking a moment, maybe close your eyes to notice how it feels in your body now. How your feet feel on the floor and how that left hip joint feels now. Great. And then we're moving to the other side. Whenever you're ready, you open up your eyes again, and we're turning towards the left, keeping the left thigh, the back of the thigh on the chair seat, stretching out the right leg to any degree. And then placing both hands on top of the left thigh and pushing the muscle, pushing the flesh forward a bit, and allowing for that right hip flexor, that right groin to open. And maybe your knee is bent and there's a lot of sensation here and in your quads. That's fine. Maybe the leg is a bit straight, and then when the leg is more straight, you push your heel back for, yes, great. And letting your chest open, keeping the head free, breathing, always coming back to breath, always relaxing the jaw. One more breath here, allowing for that hip to fall towards the floor again. Great. And then exhaling, swinging back towards the middle. And one more time, fall, roll over your straight or bent knees. Maybe placing the hands on the floor, letting the head relax, opening your jaw, and imagine your face would melt towards the floor. Just for once, let gravity have your face. Maybe exhaling through an open mouth. And then at the end of your next exhalation, or whenever you're ready, start to roll up through the spine, walking your hands on top of your knees. The head comes very last. And then as your skull is back to where it was, on top of that cervical spine, the spine in your neck, take a moment to pause, maybe with your eyes closed. Swallow. Relax your throat. And notice your pelvis now. Notice your legs now and your feet. Maybe it feels like there's a bit more space in your lower back. Maybe the lower part of your body feels a bit more alive. Thank you so much for practicing with me today.
RefLab.